I'm going to say something I think I've said on 119 episodes. All fans want is consistency. Heck, all the drivers, the teams, all anybody wants is consistency with NASCAR, and all we get is inconsistency. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is John, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 119.
You best say race car spelled forwards.
Man, I about messed it up. I don't really know what I was going to say, to be completely honest with you.
Race car spelled
I just went blank. Like, I was trying to think ahead of like the episode number, because on my show notes, at the first bulletin on the show notes is usually the episode number. Well, I was like, surely I don't need it on here twice.
Yeah.
So when I look down for it, where it's
like,
usually
where'd it go?
And I'm like, oh no, where am I? I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
What number is it?
It completely threw me off. But no, episode 119. We're back again after another race. Not a miserable race either.
No,
just another race.
Yeah.
I struggled on this one. Like, I watched it 3 different ways. Like, I watched stage 1,
like
in-car camera, MRN radio. I watched stage 2, which I didn't like that, by the way. I like to be able to see the action going on all over the track, not just from some guy's windshield. So if HBO Max wants to add a blimp view, I'm good with that.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Or just have a guy stand in the stands with a camera and just, left and right only. I just want to see the racetrack. That's it. I don't need Fox's Ultra Zoom or any of that. But watch stage 1, in-car camera, radio. Watch stage 2, Fox playing on the TV, broadcast muted, MRN on the radio, and then I watch stage 3 just on Fox.
How'd that go for you? What was your favorite? What was that experience like? I
don't know that I had a favorite. Like, I don't think I would say there's one definitive way that's better than the other. I did enjoy the radio and Fox, but then Fox is talking about, a guy in 8th place. The radio is talking about a great battle, it sounds like, for 16th. And I'm watching one guy run around. Yeah. It's like they're showing Ryan Priest's car, but I'm hearing about this phenomenal battle, which they could have made Ryan Priest driving around by himself sound interesting on MRN.
Oh, I know.
So it's like, I don't know. I think the easiest way is Fox and Fox broadcast. That is the hardest way, but the easiest. It's the easiest hard way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just easy to put it on. I did find that it became background noise more than anything, because I ended up playing a golf game on my phone, and then I'm like, oh, there's 50 laps to go. Maybe I should pay attention again.
Oh, they're racing. Oh,
so I
forget about that.
I don't really know. I don't know the best way to do it. I think the way we're currently doing it with Fox is a problem. To us, not to the executives at NASCAR, but to us it's a problem. So
yeah,
I don't know. It was a crazy weekend of racing.
Yeah. I mean, well, not really.
I mean, you listened to it in the car.
Yeah, I listened on MRN.
Did you even watch the Xfinity race?
No.
I don't blame you. What sucks is it was a good race. Like, Austin Hill cut the turn too early, bounced off the wall.
I did see that.
So, I mean, Justin Allgaier had great restarts until the last restart. I don't really know what happened there. But I'm really just tired of seeing some guy who is meant 0 to the day wreck and cause a green-white checkered. Like, it's just getting old, but we'll get there. But before we dive into today's show, let's give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, Designs by Sydney. Sydney is a master of graphic design, creating everything by hand with a personal touch. She has you covered if you're looking for unique NASCAR driver stickers celebrating each week's winner. But that's not all. She also offers custom logos, letterheads, t-shirts, and a whole range of custom stickers. Do you need to revamp your business's branding or boost your social media with eye-catching graphics? Sydney is your artist. Check out Designs by Sydney today for all your design needs, where creativity meets craftsmanship. And for the month of March, use code CAR0325, that's CAR 0325 at checkout and get $5 off an order of $25 or more. Now let's get back to the show. So one other thing Sydney also does, I noticed this weekend, is she'll print like custom cards. Like if you need to have a note card or something and send people notes or comment cards, things like that, she does that stuff too. So anytime I notice anything new she does or has done, I'll try to mention that too, because you never know what our listeners might need. But for all your needs, you got Sydney.
Oh, come on. You messed that up. For all your needs, designed by Sydney.
Well, Sydney is designed by Sydney.
I know, but you got
the formal commercial's over. Now we're just bragging about our friend.
That would have been such a good line, though.
Well, I'm going to let you start reading the...
That was a great line, actually.
I think you should read the ad.
No, I was actually just about to say I had an idea. What if I'm over here with like some stickers while you're reading the ad?
Just holding stuff up she's done.
Yeah.
T-shirt, hat, stickers.
Yeah. I'm just over here doing something stupid.
I mean, yeah, that's what you usually do, right? So she also puts out a poll each week, vote on the best race of the weekend poll. This week we had the Xfinity race, the Cup race, and you could vote for the trolls on social media. I voted for the trolls on social media.
That was an option?
That was an option. I told her, I said, do something crazy. Give us a crazy... For me, like I will not vote yes on the Xfinity race. I'm sorry. I don't care that it was a great race, but that last lap absolutely ruined the Xfinity series for me. Like I don't know that I'll watch again. And so I wouldn't vote on Xfinity. I voted for the trolls this week.
For the trolls.
Yeah, I just voted for the trolls. Like everybody loves a good trolls. So 40% voted for Xfinity. I mean, 20% voted Xfinity. 40% voted Cup. Everybody else voted for the trolls. So it's just a weird weekend, man. Like Jeff Gluck poll, 78% said yes, 22% said no.
Well, I mean, if you are comparing it to other Phoenix races, then it makes sense.
That's where I'm struggling at. Like, I don't want to just compare it to other Phoenix races. I want to compare it to a good race. Like, we haven't had a good race in Phoenix. Well, ever, maybe? I'm trying to think of one here. I know my brain's not what it used to be, but I don't feel like we've ever had a great race at Phoenix. So
Phoenix just ain't a great race.
Phoenix is going to Phoenix. That's all.
That's a championship race.
Exactly. That's another huge issue anyway.
It's
but
like we've got this track that we know, like, at least this week it was bearable. It was watchable.
You know, it was, but for all the wrong reasons. Like, why was Phoenix this week a good race?
Because of an option tire?
Because of a gimmick. And I'm not a fan of gimmicks. Like, if I want to watch a gimmick race, there's plenty out there that are good. Like, there's good gimmick racing out there that's interesting to watch, but it shouldn't be the highest form of motorsport. Shouldn't take it. Any track on the NASCAR schedule should not require a gimmick to be good at.
Right. But, I mean, unfortunately, every track's not going to be amazing.
Then find another track. I mean, it's not like we're only limited to a handful of tracks in the world. Like, NASCAR's $1 billion industry. I don't want this, well, not every race is going to be excited. Like, I'm tired of hearing the corporate talking points. Like, especially when it comes to Phoenix. Like, it's not every track. We complain this car, and you know, I was thinking about this car. I complain about this car when I have since, I don't know, week one with the car. Yeah. I've never liked this car. But I do think the softer tire compound helps this car a lot.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what made this weekend great. Or not great, but good. Bearable. Digestible. Whatever you want to say. This weekend was that, all because of the option tire.
Yeah.
Now, when everybody's on the option tire, it reminds me of Old Phoenix. When everybody was on what was the other one? The yellow tire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminded me of Old Phoenix.
Well, I think the thing with when everyone went to the option tire is that, like, the way that it was all laid out with the two sets of option tires and the sticker tires and the primaries is that, like, they never had to do super long runs on the option tire.
That's what I think. I think if you ran the whole race.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah, if you run the whole race on one tire, and the softer tire, I say make it softer. I say make it so soft that the drivers have to manage their tire, because then you're going to have comers and goers, but only because they're managing their tires.
Yeah.
Which is what racing is about.
Yeah, I think the problem when everyone went onto the soft tires is everyone, or most of everyone, were able to run almost full out and just split the stage.
Yeah.
With their set of option tires.
Yeah, and most of them waited to the last two runs to use the tire, which, I mean, Logano used them early because he got caught going below the yellow line, and Priest used them earlier because he didn't want to go a lap down. You know, Cody Ware used them earlier because he was a lap down. I mean, you had guys who used them early.
But it never worked out.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Which we knew it would.
If a caution would have come out with, I don't know, 15, 20 laps to go, and you had the only set of fresh red tires left, you could have essentially came in from 20th and won that race.
That is true.
Nobody could have beat you.
Yeah.
Now, that's what makes it a gimmick. That's what I don't want to go run the championship race with two tires.
No, absolutely not.
Just make this tire a little softer. You spent 12 hours Monday testing this tire after a long day of racing Sunday. Like, let's just bring this tire back, at least this tire at a minimum, back.
Let's put it on all the short tracks.
I mean, take it everywhere. Put it on the 1.5 miles. Who cares? I want to see tires give.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you should be able to run wide open and your car your lap times never fall off for 75 laps.
I mean, we had multiple people blow, what was it, like right fronts or something, or was it right rear?
It was right front because you had Bubba blew a right front.
I thought it was right rear, though.
Oh, well. Well, that wasn't the tire's fault, though. These guys who hit the wall like that, Bubba blew a brake rotor, broke in half.
Oh, wow.
And somebody else had happened to. I mean, I know McDowell had his weekly crash.
MC Duwell.
Yeah, he not do too well anymore. No. MC no do well no more.
MC Duwell got out of that car.
He should have stayed at front row.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's had a worse season so far, him or Ty Gibbs.
Whew.
But it's been a rough one.
I think Gibbs, actually.
Christopher Bell wins it again.
Yep.
3 weeks in a row. 3 completely different style tracks.
I told you.
You called it.
I called it.
You called it. I was going to text you when you were in the car. Like, you got it. But I was like, I can't say nothing until this race is over. Because you never know how it's going to end up.
That's exact. Like, I almost texted you. Like, I told you. I almost sent that. But there was still like 10 to go. And I was like, no, I got to wait.
Well, I mean, I didn't doubt you. I didn't doubt Christopher Bell could go out there and win it. I agreed with you.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it was going to happen. Like, it just doesn't usually happen that way. You know, it's usually there's other guys. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's rare. I think Kevin Harvick won the first 3 races one year. The last time anybody won 3 in a row was Larson back in 21. Honestly, I'm not picking him for this weekend, but I think he could win this weekend too. Are you going to pick him? Are you going to go for a 4-peat?
Oh, I don't know. I've been thinking about that the past couple of days. I'm like, am I going to pick him again for Vegas?
Well, I'll give you to the end of the show to make your mind up. So.
Okay, because like I'm either going to pick Bell to win at Vegas or Denny. I think Denny could win Vegas.
Well, I'm taking Denny. I've already put it in my show notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see. Make your pick for Vegas. Who do you think wins? I put Denny Hamlin down.
Well, I guess I
picked Denny for one reason. He almost called his shot on his show this week.
Oh, really? I didn't finish his show.
Well, at some point, he's like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But I swear he was getting ready to say, we're going to go to Vegas and win. Anytime Denny thinks he's going to go somewhere and win, he usually does.
Yeah.
So He almost won at Phoenix. He's got a fast car. Him and his crew chief are figuring it out, working together, obviously. I think Denny wins Vegas, but you don't have to tell me who you got until the end. I'll let you think on it.
Yeah, it'll be end of the show surprise.
So what are your impressions of this tire, the softer tire?
I mean, kind of already talked about it. I think it should be on all the short tracks.
So you think it made a huge difference?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you think the tire made a big difference, or the having two tires made the big difference?
That's so hard to tell.
That's what I've been wanting to ask you today. Like, I've been thinking about this. Like, did the softer tire make a difference, or was it the fact they had to strategize with two tires that made the difference?
That's why I hate the fact that they ran option tires and primary tires.
I mean, I understand. I guess I don't, but because we used to not run races with two tires to test tires out. We had legit tire test.
Yeah,
like they did today. I don't know why we couldn't get 20 drivers out there.
Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to put logic into an illogical situation.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to tell. But like from what we saw with Joey, I think Joey was the best example. Is Joey tried to stretch those tires out for like 75 laps or something like that.
We got ran down and passed.
Yeah, on primaries.
Correct.
So obviously, the option tire had more fall off. It fell off more severely once it started falling off. I think if they ran the whole race with those option tires, I think what you would have seen in stage one is you would have seen people try to run those tires all the way, and then you'd have a couple people try and put new tires on at, or try and split it or somehow.
Well, I think if you had only that softer tire, you're going to have guys who go all out early and guys who save their stuff and go all out at the end.
Right, exactly. And then especially in stages 2 and 3, where they were much longer than stage 1, they're gonna try and stretch that first set of tires way farther than what they did Sunday.
So they have a fresh set for the end.
Yeah.
This is how NASCAR racing used to be. I know most fans that are newer don't understand that, but if you watched racing in like 2002, 2003, tires fell off. You go to Atlanta, and on lap 3, they're a second slower.
Yeah.
And some of it was because the tires, Atlanta ate up the tires back then. And a lot of it was because the drivers just slowed down to save their tire so it would last the whole run.
Yeah.
You had to save your tires. You had to do that back in the day. So I think I still say run the softer tire. I'm with you. I don't know that at Phoenix it made that big a difference.
It would have to be a whole race.
That's what I mean.
Just the soft tire.
I think the option tire thing is a gimmick they do in Indy, maybe F1. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those open wheel things. There's no reason to bring that here. Like I said, I was saying, like, practice this thing, do what you can with it, figure it out. I understand you wanted to try it in a live race, whatever. We've done that now. But I don't want to see two tires going to every short track. I want to see one tire at a short track, and I want to see the softest, worst tire you got that's going to blow out after 75 laps if they run hard on it. Matter of fact, I want it to, if they run wide open on that tire after 50 laps, I want it to blow. I want it to last 100 laps because they saved it, or last a fuel run because they saved tires, not because the tire never fell off.
Right.
So, rumor is that this year will be the last year we run Phoenix for the championship race.
Oh, thank goodness, dude! Finally. How many years have we been at Phoenix?
It's just a rumor, but I hope it's true. I don't know. I think 3. I'm sure NASCAR had a 3 or 4 year deal with Phoenix. Like, hey, y'all spend X amount of million on our track that we own, then we'll keep coming here for X amount of years.
Yeah.
So, good riddance. Bye-bye.
I hope
I'm
we
done.
never come back.
Yeah, not for a championship race. Phoenix is a one-and-done type of race. You run it once a year, and then you're done with it.
Yeah.
Run it early, put it on your West Coast swing, never go back. I'm sorry. I hate it for the people in Arizona, but that's the track you're born around, then that's just part of life.
Tough luck.
If you don't like it, move to another state that has better racing. Move to not Georgia. We're full.
Yeah. Don't come here, please. We've got enough.
Yeah, it's a horrible racetrack here, and people are so bad, and traffic really is bad. You'll hate it, though. You'll hate living in Georgia. So, Mississippi, I hear, is great this time of year. Check it. Arkansas, another great state. Kansas, they have a racetrack that's really good.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you're looking for a place to live, Kansas is wide open. They have the big fields and stuff.
It's a place to go.
Yeah. Not Georgia, though. Go to Kansas. Cole Custer.
I know he didn't wreck at Coda, but
He's Cody
on track.
Ware has finished more races this season than Cole Custer.
I know I was kind of being sarcastic when I said I thought he was going to wreck every race.
But might have been right.
But I'm being serious when I say I think he's going to wreck more than he finishes.
I think you're probably right. I don't see that as the wrong answer because, the part of it I was okay with was Ricky Stenhouse was involved in it too.
Yeah.
So as long as
two birds, one stone.
Exactly. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, they're both gonna wreck every race.
Yeah.
So go ahead and knock both of them out. You know what? We need to have Ty Dillon. I mean, not Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon's going to do something to screw up every opportunity he has. But we need to add Ty Gibbs to the Cole Custer Club.
Oh, yeah.
So Cole, Ty Gibbs, and Cody Ware. Like, who's going to finish better each week? And it's not even who finishes better. It's just who's going to finish.
Right. Man, what happened to Gibbs? I thought he was supposed to be good. Like, when he came in.
I mean, he's really sucked the last 7 or 8 races. I think he's finished outside the top 20.
I know. Like, when
he didn't even make the Clash.
When did he become a back marker?
I don't know. I don't really know. I think this is my theory. I think Joe Gibbs knows he's like old and it's time to hang it up, and he doesn't have anybody to pass the company on to right now. Maybe Ty Gibbs would be the best opportunity. So he's just like, look, grandson, your talents obviously hasn't caught up to your abilities here in this car. So won't you run my shop?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe Gibbs is giving him crappy equipment, so he decides to go run the shop. I mean, that didn't work with Austin Dillon. He's still out there, so
that is true.
I don't think you're going to see Ty go anywhere anytime soon.
How old's Austin?
Old enough to know he should probably retire.
Yeah. So, I mean, Gibbs still looks like he's 16.
I think Gibbs, I don't know, man. I really don't, because here's Gibbs' problem, though. Gibbs is such an aggressive driver.
But he's not like Carson where he can't back it up.
He was.
And then
worse than Carson, but he can't back it up with finishes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, no, he was like Gibbs is. You bump into Gibbs, he's going to pitch a tantrum fit and wreck you. Like,
yeah, he's going to.
We saw him do it at the Clash. He jumped, was it Justin Haley's wheel?
Something like that. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, I mean, he had a little temper tantrum in his car, kicking and screaming. He goes for a little ride.
I mean, I think somebody needs to give him and Cole Custer a hug. Like,
guys,
Cole Custer's problem is he's a great Xfinity driver, but he's not a great Cup Series driver. And like Tony Stewart obviously knew that because he's like, hey, man, we're spending a fortune fixing Cole Custer's wrecks.
Yeah, right.
He needs to go. So he got shipped off to the Xfinity Series where he did really good.
Yeah.
Then he gets shipped back up to the Cup Series, and
look where we're at.
The problem is these Xfinity drivers drive like they have a chip on their shoulder. Like, it's all or nothing every lap. And when I say all or nothing, I mean they're going to wreck you on lap 7 because they don't know if they can win it on lap 287.
Right.
So it's like, take a deep breath. In the Cup Series, these are longer races. You can't go out and act like an idiot on lap 1 and think you're going to survive. And that's what Cole Custer's doing right now.
And
that's why I say he needs a hug.
Someone is telling him to chill out.
Yeah, just
take
relax,
a chill pill,
bro.
man.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, I got a question. Why was it called, the children, 500, if it was only 312 miles?
I don't know.
Because, I mean...
Was it really?
Yeah, it was called the something 500.
Usually it's like at Bristol's the 500. They run 500 laps at Bristol because it's a quarter-mile track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Because
I don't have an answer for that. Like, look, just stop. You're trying to use logic.
Dang it.
We're talking about NASCAR here. There's no logic involved. Like,
dang
you know
it,
better.
I caught myself doing it again.
Yeah. I mean, you just stopped me from doing it. I mean, Calm down there, sunshine.
Yeah. Oh, that's my bad.
Take a deep breath. Think of the most illogical reason you can think of, and that's why they did it.
Yeah, because, Daytona 500 is 500 miles. You got whatever the Bristol race is called. It's 500 laps. You got the Cookout 600 because it's 600 miles. Or not the Cookout. Coke 600. Then you Cookout 500 because it's 500 miles. So I was like, why is this called the whatever 500 when we're only 312 laps?
It's a good question.
It's only 312 miles.
And I guarantee you there's not a good answer for why. It's a great question, but there's not a great answer. I promise you that.
It was confusing. Because aren't the Xfinity races, wasn't that like the 200? Because it was...
I don't even know. I don't remember what the Xfinity race was.
Yeah, I
don't even know what it was called. Because, I fast-forwarded. I had it recorded, so I fast-forwarded to the green flag, basically. Yeah. And then I hit play. And then I legit watched 2.5 hours, and then my night was ruined. And
why don't you talk about that?
We'll get there. Let's talk about Joey Logano.
Joey
Logano gets a penalty for going below the start-finish line, or the yellow line before the start-finish line. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it was...
He went below it. There's no doubt. He went below the line we can see on TV.
Yeah.
So if he went below that line, I'm sure the invisible line that only NASCAR officials can see, he went below that too. But my problem, I think the 77 was right behind him, or somebody was right behind him, did the same exact thing, didn't get a penalty. I know Christopher Bell did it at least once later on in the race because I watched him exact same spot. I mean, it's just like a half a foot early.
Yeah.
But it's still early. I mean... NASCAR is notorious for following their rules to a T. So if you go even the slightest bit early, they're going to penalize you.
Especially at Phoenix.
Yeah, early is early. I don't care what track you're at. If you go early, you go early.
Yeah.
NASCAR is a model of consistency.
I mean, they didn't even really like the call in the booth either.
No, I think NASCAR made that call as a nod to fans. Like, we know most of y'all hate Joey Logano, so... this one's for you guys.
But that's assuming NASCAR is doing something for the fans.
That's true.
And so I don't know if I can...
maybe they're just mad at Joey. Joey made them mad about something. They're like, we'll get him back. Or maybe they did it to Joey, and because there was so much outrage from, I don't know, Twitter, X, the booth, every other Reddit, wherever you go for your social crap. Everybody was mad. I mean, even people who are usually dislike Joey were defending Joey. I was kind of defending Joey. I'm like...
I don't know, man. Like it was.
There's
close.
not a good view of it. It's a problem,
right? And I'm sure NASCAR's got a better view of it.
Yeah, they got a secret camera hidden somewhere that they'll never show us. That's my biggest problem with NASCAR. Well, that's
one of them.
One of the 5,000 big problems I have with NASCAR is that, like, the stupid starting line is a sliver of a line hitting somewhere in that crooked crap that we have to see on TV.
And they have a camera for that, apparently.
Yeah, I think we should have a line on that line too. Wherever their line is, just draw a red line.
In the NFL, they do that on the field.
I know. Yeah, just superimpose it on TV. Something. Just I want to know what they're.
What's the definitive point of crossing the start-finish line?
I guarantee you, if he went 3 inches before the white line we can see on TV, that was probably 2 feet early for their invisible line that they can only see in the NASCAR secret trailer.
So who knows?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I want to say is a bad call, but he did go early. So by the rule, and if we're going to be ultra NASCAR consistent every week like they are, then, and I'm being extremely sarcastic when I say that, because they weren't sarcastic. They weren't consistent in their ruling last week. So why would they be consistent this week?
Yeah, I mean. Cindric.
I mean, that's why Joey had to use his option tire early, was to make up his position. Yeah. And I still thought, with it being Joey Logano, he was going to get lucky somehow and win that stupid race.
I thought it was too. I told Mama in the car, I was like, watch, Joey's he's gonna save 30 laps more fuel. He's gonna get the right caution at the right time. He's somehow gonna find an extra pair of red tires in his garage.
They're going to turn his tires inside out and use them again.
Yeah, like Paul Wolf's going to do some magic up there, and he's going to end up winning this race.
I mean, you can't deny the talent between those two. I mean,
I know. It's
such a great matchup.
It's so annoying.
Hey, we had a big wreck at Phoenix. We did have a big one.
Yeah.
Riley Herbst tried to make it 17 wide. Shows why he probably should still be in a lower series. I'm not a fan of Riley Herbst. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've never liked him.
He's another Logano.
Yeah.
His money.
Yeah, he's definitely another Logano style guy. I mean, but whatever. He's buying his way into the series.
Yeah.
One day that might change and he'll be out of job. But until then, he gets to go dive bomb into the corner. And I mean, that's essentially what Ross Chastain did last weekend, and we raked Ross over the coals.
Yeah.
Well, Riley Herbst did the same thing this weekend. That you can go 17 wide there, but you got to get back in line real quick, and it doesn't usually work. And
he wasn't. He wasn't up to it.
It didn't work for Cole Custer. It didn't work for
Chastain.
Herbst. Yeah, it just you can't go that wide there and come back up top of each other. It just does not work.
But still a rookie, I guess, is what you can say.
Yeah, I mean, I give him that. It's stupid. I think it's a lack of experience is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I think what's really telling, especially, is he's with 2311. They've been running really good all year so far. Like Wallace and Reddick, they've been really good at qualifying. Bubba's been doing pretty good the last couple weeks.
I think Bubba's driven better than he's finished. I mean, he hit the wall yesterday with a blown rotor.
Yeah.
But I think he's running better than he's finishing so far this year. Reddick's doing
the exact same thing.
Great. I mean,
he finished 20th this week. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened to him either. I thought he was doing good.
He was in the top 10 like all day. I don't know what happened when I saw that he finished 20th.
Where'd Ryan Preece end up? Oh, 15th. Okay. Catherine Legs, she had her
debut.
I call it a success. Anytime you wreck Daniel Soros, so way to go, Catherine. I think you had a great day. Come back anytime. 99. Remember, just wreck in front of him. And we're doing good.
You can come to Atlanta anytime you want to.
I would say if you come to Atlanta, though, wreck him on pit road. Like, accidentally go into his stall as he's going out of his stall and just destroy his car.
It's a little bit more dangerous at Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't want you getting hurt just trying to, give me some glorification of the day. No, I think, Daniel Suarez was a little mad about it. He posted a video online. He's like, how did she even get approved? I mean, I think a lot of people have asked that question, but she's obviously a talented driver. I just think this is a problem with NASCAR. There's no clear approval process.
Yeah.
I think to race in a NASCAR Cup Series race, you should have to do X amount of truck starts, X amount of Xfinity starts, then you can do a Cup, and you could only do a Cup start. I think your first Cup start should have to be Phoenix is a little harder track because it's different because there's 37 lines. I mean, it's hard to get out of the way at Phoenix, but go to Richmond.
Yeah, do one of those tracks.
Wilkesboro, something, not Wilkesboro because that's the All-Star race, but what I mean is just go to somewhere else, like
somewhere where you can get your, hands on the car and feel it out a little bit more.
But this is a NASCAR problem because there's a mosquito. It's
getting you.
Trying to get me. So we need a clearer process on what it means to be approved.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Indy 500, Kyle Larson wants to race the Indy 500. Well, Kyle Larson had to take his butt down a month early.
But he worked his butt off to get in that.
You got to go down to a rookie practice and show that you can run complete laps at speed and not come out and be an embarrassment on the track running around 37 laps down at half throttle.
Yeah.
I think that's what NASCAR needs. I don't know that you can do that every week, but maybe 4 times a year. Have a rookie day. If you want to move up from the other series and run your first Cup race, bring in 2 or 3 Cup drivers bring them to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Most of the drivers live in Charlotte. The drivers, team owners, bring some people in who know what a good driver looks like and let if you got 10 rookies who are wanting to move up, then those 10 drivers get out and run a couple laps. I mean, run more than a couple. Make them run 25, 30 laps and make sure their speed would, not get them run over and killed at the previous race at that track.
Yeah, like, I think if Catherine had some more time in the car just to get her, get the cold feet warm, like she's going into this race pretty much no experience, like almost no experience maybe in these cup cars on this kind of track.
Yeah.
And I mean, she spun out by herself. That's because she doesn't know what the car feels like yet.
Exactly. I'm not bashing her for that. It's
right,
not her. That's not her fault.
You've got all these guys in front of you who are running away from you. You don't want that to happen. Like, as a driver, you don't want the entire field leaving you in the dust. So you're pushing it maybe a little bit more than you're comfortable with, and you've never been in this car before. You've been in this car very little. You don't know where your marks are. You've got no time.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we've said it a million times in this series, though. It's like, make sure that you know what you're doing when you get out there. But if you don't have any practice, how can you know what you're doing when you get out there?
Right.
So
the advantage that all these veterans have is that they've done this thousands of laps.
Yeah, NASCAR's doing their drivers no favors by not allowing them to practice, especially
the
rookies.
Younger, yeah, I was about to say, especially the younger guys.
Yeah, you got to have some type of practice, or this is what happens. Like I said, I don't put this on Catherine whatsoever. I think she had a great day because she took out Daniel Soros. And anytime you can take out Daniel Soros, I'm pretty happy. So
yeah,
like I don't have a favorite driver, but I definitely have drivers I don't like. And Soros is probably him and Logano. Most days Soros beats Logano here lately, which is saying something because Logano's been my number one hated driver for like 20 years. Like you're 17, so at least 17 years. With 9 laps to go, to make sure he didn't get left out, Ty Gibbs decided to smack the wall, causing a late race caution. And like I said earlier in the show, I'm tired of this. I'm sick and tired of people who have not been factors all day, who we don't even know your name. The guy who wrecked on Saturday, I don't even know who the guy is. Liggett, something like that. Yeah. I don't know who he is. Good for you, dude. You made it to Xfinity, and now you caused a late race caution. Well, Ty Gibbs didn't want to be outdone. I think this was all 3 races this weekend. You had non-factor drivers, your back marker teams, causing a caution with 10 laps to go. That is NASCAR should be madder about that. But they're not because they get a late race caution.
Yeah,
but
and that makes things go up.
It's stupid. Like I'm sick of it. I hate it. I'm tired of it. I want to see a race end organically.
Yeah, and honestly, like I was kind of looking forward to a green flag ending to that race.
I mean, we got it. We didn't get a green-white checker. We got a caution on lap 10. They burned like 7 or 8 laps under caution, and then we got a 2-lap shootout.
I know. I like when that caution happened. I told Mama, I was like, "There's no reason this should go to a green-white checkered."
No, I agree, and it almost did. It
basically did.
I mean, it was 2-lap shootout, but. Yeah, I see what you're saying, though. It was a green-white checker because it was only 2 laps. You got a green flag, a white flag, and a checkered. So technically it was.
Exactly.
It just wasn't an overtime finish.
Right. I was like, I told Mama, I was like, this should go green with 3 laps to go.
I mean, I will say that wreck at the end saved Jeff Gluck's pole.
Oh, absolutely.
If you wouldn't have had that caution at the end and the battle between Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, I mean, Kyle Larson, I thought Larson was going to luck out and win that race. I thought Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin were going to run into each other coming off turn 4, and Larson was going to slip away with it.
Yeah.
But it was just good. That was an entertaining 2 laps.
It was.
Actually, it was a really good 2-lap shootout. And thankfully, Fox didn't go to commercial before the end of it, so I actually got to see the end of this race. So, yeah, I mean, I think that saved the Jeff Gluck pole, though. That saved this whole race, honestly.
Yeah. Could you imagine if it just ended under green? Even though I
still think 60% would have voted yes at that point. It wouldn't have been 78, though. It would have been like 60, 65, maybe 68% vote yes.
Yeah, because without that green-white checkered, we're not getting an almost 3-wide ending. Yeah,
you're not getting the closest finish in Phoenix history, which is like not really is close. I don't even know if I'd brag about this is the closest finish in Phoenix history. Okay, Mike, calm down. It wasn't that close, buddy.
No, it's not.
Close is like who won? Who just won that? That's close. This is like I knew Christopher Bell won this race.
Maybe the closest ending in the next gen car, but this ain't the closest ending in Phoenix history.
Right at Phoenix, I believe it is.
No, Kevin Harvick beat someone by like a tenth of a second.
Well, that's what Fox told me Sunday. This is the
Fox
closest.
is. I'm almost like 98% sure Fox is dead wrong on that. I'm pretty sure Kevin Harvick beat. I don't remember who he beat.
Well, if that's the case, on Happy Hour, I'm sure Harvick will point that out. He don't mind calling out his bosses at Fox, but then again, if Fox is wrong, that's not a surprise either. Cause, no, I mean they're quite often wrong. No offense to them, but
they really said this was the closest finish in Phoenix.
Yes, Mike Joyce said that like 37,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty sure he's very wrong about that.
Well, that's what he said.
I'm pretty sure
it wasn't that close of a finish either. So
I'm pretty sure Mike witnessed the other close finish.
He don't remember. Mike's getting old, man. You know that. So talking about wrecking people, Eric Amarillo.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't see this because we were at commercial, but I did go back and watch it an hour later when I didn't even know who won. I had to wait. It was like 45 minutes before the recap posted because the race ended like an hour before I watched it.
Yeah.
So the recap wasn't even live on YouTube yet. So I had to wait on that to go live. I guess I could have went to Twitter and saw who won, but I really just wanted to see the last lap and then find out who won then.
Yeah.
So I waited on the recap, went and watched the recap, and saw that it was Eric Amarillo. Now, obviously Eric couldn't cut it in the Cup Series with the big boys, so he had to go to the Little League, and he still beats up all the kids there. I mean, that's what this is like. This is like an NFL player falling back to high school and then getting excited, like, yeah, you see I could take all these guys down. Like, yeah, you're like 6'12", which would be 7 foot. But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's so annoying to me to watch Eric do this. Like, dude was not relevant in Cup
at all.
And the only way to be relevant in Xfinity is to wipe people out. Like,
yeah,
I don't even have a problem with wrecking people. I really don't. Like, if you want to wreck, it's usually entertaining.
Yeah.
But when it's the last lap and the guy has clearly given you enough room to race clean for the victory, and you don't even attempt it, you just hang it out like you're 13 years old playing iRacing on your dad's account.
I know, because Bowman did it. Bowman was like, all right, I'll give you the space. Let's race this like, let's do this like men.
Yeah. And then
Eric was like,
nope.
Nah.
I don't know how to do that. Boom.
I am no man.
I am not a man. I like to beat up on kids. No, I feel like every time Eric wins, it's because he takes somebody out. Like,
I know.
It's not a good look. Grandpa Amarillo, however you say your last name. I've never liked the guy. Personally, I've never been a fan of his as a driver. I don't trust him as a person. There's something about his personality. When I see him on TV, it's fake. It's not real. It's like, hey, look at me. I'm such a good person. Watch me drive. It's kind of like Joey Logano, who's like a super nice guy, and then he gets in the car and he's like super not nice guy. You know, which I know that's most of these drivers. It's the helmet cuts the blood circulation off to their brain.
I mean, ask Blaney.
Blaney's notorious for it.
Yeah.
But, Blaney will own it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm a different person.
Yeah. Joey's doesn't, and Eric doesn't. So I'm not a fan of what Eric did. The way he did it, at least, I think he should have. I don't mind if Eric gets into Bowman, fighting for the win right there at the end, and it's because they're fighting hard to get into each other. I don't mind that. But when you sell it off in there, knowing you had the only way Eric made that corner was to bounce off Bowman.
Oh, I know. He
needed to hit Bowman to make it. When you do that, and there's zero chances of you making that corner on your own, I don't like that. That's not racing. That's Amarillo in it.
Yeah, that's wrecking.
That's why you end up getting notched back down to the Xfinity. He's going to be in the ARCA series before long if he's not careful. That's going to be the only. I mean, but that's typical Xfinity, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of Xfinity, the CW decided to go to commercial as they dropped the white flag. Apparently that was just us in Atlanta market. So everybody in Georgia, I had some people in Tennessee, Alabama said it happened to them, South Carolina, there was actually a guy in North Carolina said it happened to them too. So whoever's in the range of the CW's affiliate station here in Atlanta missed the end of the race because they were at commercial. And then they went to the Hawks pregame.
I can't believe that.
I will not be watching the Xfinity Series until they have an app or they have the live race coverage on their app where I know I can get it every week, where I know I'll see the ending. I will watch again.
I mean,
but until then, there's no way I'm spending 2.5 hours of my day just to miss the ending.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't watch a movie and with 10 minutes to go, turn it off. That's not cool. Like, and if look, I know Atlanta's not the smartest. I get it. I live in this state. I know.
We know. I know.
It's corporate executives. I know. I get it. I understand. But you could say, well, it's not the CW's fault. Yeah, it is. That's the guy who presents the CW here in Atlanta. So I put it fully on the CW. I don't think NASCAR knew what they were getting when they jumped in with a low-budget station like the CW, but this is what you're getting. And what you're losing is viewership because I'm not watching no more.
Which kind of sucks because I enjoy the CW's coverage.
Well, you can still watch. I mean, I think the CW, the booth guys do great. The camera guys do great. It's the producers and the affiliate stations. Like, I'm just over it, man. Like, I think every race the CW's done this year so far has started late. They've yet to start on time. Their broadcast doesn't start on time. I mean, they have serious issues already. Now, I know we're only 4 races in. Cut them some slack. No, not doing that. This is millions of dollars that are being spent on this broadcast. I don't know if it's $1 billion deal like the Cup Series, but I guarantee it's a large amount of millions deal.
Yeah.
So
no slack.
Yeah, you got 1 or 2 weeks. You screw up week 2, okay. I'm like, yeah, this is only week 2. By week 3, you should have it down. By week 4, you shouldn't be going to commercial during the white flag. I do not care what your excuse is. You can put out a X post apologizing all you want. I don't accept it. You need to do better. You give me an app that streams the race every single Saturday, you'll have a viewer back. Until then, I watch the highlights on Monday. I don't really care. All we talk about is the winner on this show anyway.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, Briscoe.
Oh, yeah.
He won his appeal. What do you think?
Last week's penalties.
We'll start with Briscoe.
Well, Briscoe, isn't that from the 500?
That is. Yeah. So apparently these Lego block cars that NASCAR demands and mandates the teams get the parts from them, apparently these pieces don't line up all the time.
Huh.
Quality control is probably not that important with NASCAR, apparently. So this is the thing. I've heard this in the past where teams will say, look, this didn't work. We contacted NASCAR. 3 weeks, they never responded. So we fixed it, made it work. Then they go to the track and get a penalty. This is what I think should happen. NASCAR's a $1 billion industry. The NASCAR, the company, $1 billion. I think they should hire, let's say 15 guys. And that's probably being really generous. You could probably do it with 10 guys. To be in the Charlotte area. Say Joe Gibbs putting a part together, it don't fit. Hey, we need to finagle this a little bit to make it fit. Call NASCAR up, say, hey, we need you to send one of your guys down here. Guy comes down that day, next day at the latest. Looks at it and goes, you know what, this won't fit. I'll sign off on it. Approved. You can make a slight adjustment to make it fit. Then when he gets to the track, it's already been approved. You got a yellow sticker right there on it that says approved by NASCAR.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do to fix this. Problem is, NASCAR has a communication problem. They don't communicate with nobody but themselves. The only people NASCAR communicate with is each other when they tell each other how great they are.
I was about to say, that Mr. France is up there and they have them business meetings. You do so good today, Eric. You do really good. Jimmy, great job. Mr. France, you're the man.
They probably have to say that as they walk in. When Jim Price stands there at the door and shakes their hand and they go, Mr. France, you're phenomenal. Everything you do is right. He says, yep, you come on in. Mr. France, you're phenomenal. Everything, yes, I know, thank you. Come on in. Oh, Jim, you're so great. I know, I try. Come on in. I mean, then he goes and stands in front of the mirror probably for 5 minutes during the meeting just going, Jim, you're so great. You're a France. Everybody in this room's great. Everybody in this room's always been great. There's been no problems in this room. Everything we do is great. I went to the bathroom this morning. It was great. I had lunch. It was great. Y'all had lunch. It was great. We're just so great.
I mean,
That's how it is.
I would love. Can we get like footage of these meetings?
That's how they go. I just told you. I mean, you don't even need footage now.
That'd be great.
I guarantee you, because great for Briscoe. He got his points back, right?
Yeah.
He was in a huge hole without this appeal. He won his appeal. He's in a huge hole because he can't finish a race. And none of it's been his fault. He's actually run good. He just gets caught up in everybody else's crap. So I'm not worried about Briscoe. He's going to turn it around. He'll have a good end into the season. He might help our fantasy team eventually. Right now, he's killing us. Dude, we were like 39th. We're like 280th now.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Briscoe, I need you to finish a race. Just finish any race. I don't even care anymore.
Briscoe, here's a word of advice for you.
Finish.
Stay away from Ricky,
Suarez.
from Cole, and from Suarez. And Gibbs.
Definitely stay away from Gibbs. He's your teammate, too, so it shouldn't be hard to stay away from him. Matter of fact, if it's a Monster Energy car, you need to go the other direction.
Exactly.
Because any of them. I think there's 3 this weekend. Speaking of 3, Austin Cindric.
Yep.
Austin Cindric broke the rule. He right-hooked another driver. Rule says if you right-hook another driver, you will be suspended and you will not be eligible for playoff points. Austin Cindric, 3 races in, breaks the rule, right-hooks a driver. He does not get suspended.
$50,000 fine.
And 50 points.
That's it. That's all he gets.
You know, Denny Hamlin, I've listened to like no podcast except Denny's this week, but Denny said that was a worse penalty for Cindric because he averages probably 25 points a week. So basically that's like missing 2 races. I don't care. $50,000, suspend him for a week. If you're going to suspend somebody for right-hooking somebody, then suspend somebody for right-hooking somebody.
Right.
Now, do I agree with the rule?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't think it's right to right-hook somebody at Atlanta,
right,
Daytona,
Talladega,
Charlotte,
Kansas.
Yeah, I think you need to write your rules different. Like,
mile and a half and larger tracks. Right-hooking, bad.
Maybe 1 mile and larger even.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you want to do, but short tracks, Richmond, Martinsville, Bristol.
Because that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see these drivers stop being aggressive. I like the personality. I don't care if you right hook somebody at a slower track.
Yeah, like Austin Cindric wrecking Ty Dillon at Coda, didn't have a problem with it at all.
I didn't care. It's like he got mad and wrecked him. He was mad at Ty for something Ty did to him. I don't have a problem with him right hooking him there. Yeah, but NASCAR comes out and like, well, it didn't do that much damage. And then Chris Rice is like, no, it did $100,000 worth of damage. He still hit the wall.
Yeah.
But I think the industry's not happy about it. I think Kevin Harvick was not happy whatsoever. Other drivers were very vocal. Like, it says a right hook. There's a right hook. I don't think.
So can we right hook? What track? Where can we? Yeah. Can we not right hook at? Because now it's like you said. Now it's going to turn into we go to Bristol, we go to Richmond, we go to Martinsville. Well, can we move guys out of the way now? Like, what if we accidentally?
What's too far?
Yeah. What if we move them a little too hard and we accidentally right hook them? Are we getting suspended for that, or is it safe to do that?
I mean, I understand why we got away from boys have at it, because these boys we got out there racing now, they'll have at it way too much. Like, they're just not.
Finishing a race isn't, in the forefront of their mind.
When finishing a race is hard for you to do, boys have at it. It's probably not a good thing. Maybe say men have at it, and maybe adults have at it, but not boys have at it, because that's what the Xfinity and Truck Series does every week.
Yeah, and we see how that goes.
So, no, I disagree with the rule. I disagree with the penalty. I disagree with the outcome. Cindric should have not been at that race Sunday. He should have been at home Sunday. He should not be earning playoff points. I'm sorry. Nothing personal against Cindric, but that's just how the rule's written. Now, NASCAR should also fix that.
Yeah.
They need to specify what tracks you can do things on. Instead, I'm going to say something I think I've said on 119 episodes. All fans want is consistency. Heck, all the drivers, the teams, all anybody wants is consistency with NASCAR, and all we get is inconsistency.
Yeah.
Every week.
Like we don't want to have to go. We don't want to go to a track and wonder, okay, well, is this rule going to be enforced this week, or are we going to be able to get away with this?
I mean, God forbid you sputtered some smoke out of your car this weekend because they threw a caution so fast this weekend. I mean, we had a record number of cautions. I mean, we ain't had this many cautions at Phoenix in like 30 years or something stupid like that. But this weekend, I mean, Catherine spun out and kept going, and there's a caution come out.
Yeah.
MC Dewell scrubbed the wall. Caution comes out. Which, I mean, MC Dewell was going to stop probably mid-track to get a caution anyway because he needed one. But that's another guy. Like, I'm completely mind-boggled how bad he is this year. Like,
I know. Like, he was...
Him, Ty Gibbs, all these guys. Like, I would be concerned if I'm Spire. Like, I spent all this money to get MC Dewell, and he not do no well.
No.
He do
and
bad.
The rest of the Spire drivers aren't doing bad either.
No, I mean, Haley's had some good runs. Where'd Haley finish at? Haley was up front for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't know. They must have. He was in that wreck.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
was wrecked. Yeah.
Hocevar, he was in that wreck too.
Yeah.
Which I think I'd like to see Hocevar come out and win some races so he can back up all that crap. But
I think he has the ability to.
I think he does too. I think he'll get there. He's still a rookie. I mean, he's still young. He's still young in his career. It's not like back in the day when Denny Hamlin goes out there and rips off a win his rookie season. That doesn't happen anymore.
I know.
I wish it did.
That'd be great.
Or Jamie McMurray winning when he was filling in for Sterling Marlin one time. Like rookies used to win. I don't know what happened.
Used to be good. Like
yeah,
really
now
good.
it takes them like 4 or 5 years to get good. I mean, like Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
That dude's won in everything.
I mean,
and now I'm sorry. I think Christopher Bell is going to put a hurting on people this season. If you don't have him in your championship 4, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
I'm pretty sure the first week of this podcast, I said Bell was going to win the championship.
I think we both kind of tossed that around because the last 2 years he's been in the Final Four. And the year before that, he should have been in the Final Four. I think he lost it by...
Was he? I don't think he was. He wasn't in the Final Four last year.
Yeah, he was.
It was Reddick.
Yes.
Byron.
Yes.
Logano. Blaney.
Was it? Was Byron or Bell? I thought it was Bell.
No, because didn't Bell wall ride or was that Byron? I think it was Bell wall at Martinsville, and that kicked him out.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's what. I'm almost certain that's what happened.
If you don't have Bell in your Final Four this year, you're crazy. I mean, he's already ripped off 3 wins at three completely different tracks.
Yeah.
And it's not Bell; it's a team sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that Bell didn't have the talent.
They've been firing off on that 20 team everywhere.
That's what I mean.
Pit crew chief, spotter, driver.
I think that's why it takes so long because it's more than just the drive. Back in the day, you give a driver a fast car, he could go out, a good driver could go out there and win in it. Now, you need the pit stops mean way more now than they used to be.
Yeah.
The crew chief means way more now than you used to. Spotter, all these relationships have to be firing on all cylinders to win a race.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bell was doing that previously, or he was, just not consistent as he is right now. I mean, it's early.
Right.
He could rack off 7 wins in the first 9 races and not win another race until the final 4.
Right.
Anything's possible.
I mean, Denny last year, he was
exactly
cranking them out, and then
how many of Bell's engines are going to accidentally get shipped back to Toyota and disassembled before NASCAR looks at them? You know,
right.
Joe Gibbs is notorious for screwing their own drivers.
So you never know.
All right, Vegas, make your pick. I'm still going with Denny Hamlin. I'm not changing my pick. Are you gonna go for the 4-peat here?
Do we have like a coin?
No. Wait.
Can I like flip something? Is there an imaginary flip around here?
Just make a pick.
I'll flip this pin.
All right. How are you gonna flip a pin?
We'll figure it out.
I don't know how you pick by that. Okay, now pick.
All right.
I don't know how you just used a pin to decide that, but
all right, I'm picking Bell.
I think you should. Like I would. If I'm you, I'm going with Bell until he loses.
Right.
Then I'll change up.
Yeah.
If your lottery numbers keep hitting every week, you stick with them. You don't change them.
If it was closer to this side, since it has the D, I was going to go with Denny. And then this side, I was going to go with Bell.
Well, I went with Denny. You went with Bell, so your bases are covered both ways.
Exactly.
All right, what else we got?
I think that's it.
I think so.
I think we covered it all.
I think Vegas will be a good race.
Yep.
I do think this is where we'll see what everybody really has, because this is your bread and butter mile and a half. So Vegas, 3 o'clock or 3:30. Make sure you don't miss that one.
I do actually have one more thing to say. On the highlights, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on the highlights as it is on the broadcast. I think it was Denny and Blaney's number or something like that. The graphics on the side, they were like hollowed. They were black. They were filled in with black with like dark red outlines, and you could not see it at all.
How many Foxes? We always have our section to talk about the Fox broadcast, but I kind of went through how I watched it at the beginning. You listened to the whole thing on the radio, so I didn't think we should get into how bad Fox is, but Fox is an F- this week again. It's everything. The booth is so bad at this point. I don't even think Kevin should stay.
I don't understand
But their graphics, yes, their graphics are bad.
I don't understand how because their whole column there that has all the drivers and whatever is like a dark gray.
Yeah, I know.
And they've got Denny and Blaney's number, mostly black, with this dark red outline.
Well, the dark red was because of the option tire, right?
Was it?
Yeah, oh, you didn't watch? Yeah, so anytime they had the option tire on, their thing was red. So that's probably when the replay or the highlight you saw was probably when they had the option tire.
Oh.
Because I didn't notice it throughout the race, but when that option tire was on there, yes, it was red.
Because, Denny had...
And that would probably black out Denny, but I don't understand why, but...
Because, Denny was in a sports clip car, right?
Yeah, he was in a white car.
Yeah, so I don't know why his graphic is black.
Because they hate Denny. NASCAR makes the final decision. If they can't mess with him on the track, they're going to mess with him on the broadcast.
That's right. They're suing him, so...
Yeah. So, we're not even going to talk about that because it's just annoying to me. Lawsuit after lawsuit. We're just going to, even Denny seemed annoyed about it. So, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it. Whatever. NASCAR, they get what they get.
Yeah.
You mess around, they'll eventually find out. So, that's all I got this weekend. Week.
That's all I have.
Whatever. You sure?
Yeah. Wait. No, we're good.
Go Bills. All right, so thanks to everybody who listens, watches each week. Thanks to everybody who follows the show on social media. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you're following us on X, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Spotify. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave us a review like Brandon did. When you leave us a review, it helps other people find the show. So we greatly appreciate any review we get. And make sure, if you need any graphic design needs, make sure you call Designs by Sydney or go to her website, check her out. She'll take care of you. Other than that, y'all enjoy Vegas, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.